And the award for the nerdiest podcast about poker on the internet goes to the Two Fish at the Table Poker Podcast. Woo! This is our first nomination and their first win in the 2024 awards ceremony. Here to say something about their acceptance speech is East Coast Sam.
You like us. You really like us. Well, I'd like to thank the Academy for this wonderful honor. Ben and I have been working so hard at this podcast over the last couple of years. We are so deeply touched. I'd like to thank our dad for stuffing the ballot boxes. Giving us the support that we need to make this day possible. And I'd like to thank everybody that we've interviewed on this podcast, especially Mr. Live Poker Guide himself, who we interviewed last episode. So thank you very much. I am a grateful grapefruit. Thank you very much.
Well, everybody, this is our latest episode. We'll be covering poker award shows. Those exist. Yeah, I know. Who would have thought? The fifth annual Global Poker Awards of 2024. That's going to be the topic of a Let's Watch podcast episode this week on the Two Fish at the Table Poker Podcast.
Yeah, and as I mentioned last time, we reviewed Mr. Live Poker Guide himself, Andreas Wagner, who is the author of the London Poker Guide. So we'll also be talking about that a little bit. Pretty good interview. I'm very happy with it. So I'm happy with all of our interviews. I mean, they're like my children. Like I can't pick which one's my favorite, but that one I think went really well.
No, it was an absolute pleasure and treat to talk with Andreas. It was just great talking with him, and not to brag, but I do feel like over time our interview skills have gotten better over the interview to interview, and so I'm very pleased with how things turned out. And we wish him the best of luck in his poker endeavors, both via literally his cash game playing and also his YouTube channel. I'll be still watching, and we're still hoping to get more great guests for this podcast later in the year. Obviously, we'll keep you guys posted as those things go on. But transitioning to the main topic today, the Global Poker Awards. So I knew that these existed on Twitter, hearing people say, "Oh, I can't believe so and so didn't win this award or whatnot." But it got me thinking. My relationship with award shows, award ceremonies, whatever. It's kind of funny. As a kid, I watched the Kids' Choice Awards a couple of years. I enjoyed that as a kid. Just fun to see Slime and all the celebrities from the TV shows you watch and all in one program. It's kind of fun. And they intermix some of the cartoon stuff into the sort of commercial bits or the side segments in the show. So again, I got off onto the award ceremony situation on a good foot. But I never really migrated to watching the Academy Awards, the Emmys. I mean, I probably have watched maybe over the last 20 years, maybe like three times I've watched a ceremony like that, whether it's for TV, for movie, or whatever. I always forget which ones are for which categories or whatnot. I never really was big into them, and so when I learned that there was a poker version of these, I was very curious how that might translate to entertainment.
Yeah, I did debate in high school, so I got to go to a lot of award ceremonies. Each and every single tournament ends with an award ceremony for the people who did well. And no matter if you won an award or not, no matter how you did, you had to go and sit through the entire thing. It was more than an hour long because there were so many different tournaments, extemporaneous speaking and original oratory and poetry performance and prose performance and group performance, and then finally debate at the end. I mean, even if you won a trophy, and I won about a dozen of them or so, I can't remember how many, which is not very many, by the way. I was one of the worst debaters on the team, by the way. But even if you won a trophy, I mean, you're sitting through this entire thing after you've done this tournament for 12 hours, another hour on top of this. Like, you just want to go home. So I've never liked award ceremonies. Like Ben mentioned, yeah, I used to watch the Kids' Choice Awards on Nickelodeon when I was, 8 years old. I hate the Academy Awards. I think they're way too long. The jokes are really terrible. I think the Oscars is just a joke of an institution. If I win an Oscar, that'll change my tune. But I just think that they just give, the same trophies to the same actors over and over again, the same types of movies over and over again. Really don't like independent cinema. They really don't like, horror cinema. They don't like a lot of genres that I think should elicit more attention. And yeah, I don't care about the Grammys, the Emmys, the Tonys, the Nobel Prize, what have you. So yeah, I mean, a poker awards ceremony that makes sense. This is a community that has a lot of different, there's poker media of all kinds. You can have a charity ambassador of the year, all sorts of stuff. I mean, that's fine, but I just saw that the ceremony is like nearly 2 hours long. So it's like, are they going to have like an MC? Like, is there going to be some like random actor or comedian or something who like Ray Romano or somebody who's like telling jokes and stuff? I mean, I just hate all of it. I mean, I'd rather like you just give me my award in a back room and shake my hand and let me go home. That's just always been my ethos. I don't like the pageantry of anything. Just give me my trophy, let me go home, rather than go through this whole affair.
Yeah, and I am really curious because the ESPN had the ESPYs, which would be kind of the sports version of an award
Mhm.
ceremony, and poker, the main event was a big part of ESPN for the 2000s and 2010s, and I don't recall ever hearing anyone from the poker world winning an ESPY. So this is for me, I'm kind of approaching it from that frame of mind. It's kind of like a poker ESPYs more than maybe obviously poker Emmys or whatever. So I'll be very curious. And obviously, we don't know, even though we're big poker aficionados with, watching on TV, on YouTube, on podcasts, whatever, I'm sure there's going to be some nominees for people that we just don't know about. So I'll be very
Mhm.
curious the balance of how much we know, how much we truly know of the poker world, like how many of these categories of awards are we going to be familiar with every single nomination and how many we're not going to be. And I'll be obviously curious how they handle it because this is the fifth annual GPAs and I've never watched any of the matches. This is me coming in totally cold, so I'm kind of excited to see how good or bad this experience could be. And we'll just sort of watch it, sort of see how it sort of holds up as an hour and 40 minutes of content on PokerGo. And I should mention this content entirely belongs to PokerGo. Is not for nonprofit usage, fair usage. We're going to be providing commentary on it. We're going to be playing it at faster than 1x speed. And obviously, if PokerGo wants us to adjust or edit any part of this footage, we're happy to do it. But this is just us providing our perspective on something that I doubt people usually normally comment on anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not opposed to the idea of a poker awards ceremony. I mean, I really like when I saw the bracelet presentations. I thought that was really nice. There was an opportunity for the bracelet to be presented in public. The friends and family could be there. The national anthems played. I don't really know much about this ceremony, but like something simple and dignified is what I prefer with this sort of thing, and not what you have at the Oscars, just this 4 hour long. I just watch on cinema at the cinemas Oscar special. That's all I watch. I don't even watch the real Oscars. It's just so boring.
I mean, probably my favorite part of any sort of awards ceremony is when they show a mini clip from each nominee, like maybe
Yeah.
a 30-second monologue or a 30-second bit from that film. Just because if you haven't seen that movie, it's good to kind of get a small taste, a small demo of that nominee. So that way, even if you haven't heard of them, if they win, you can still feel like you can kind of see where they were coming from with that award. So I'll be very curious if they take that approach where if it's like poker player of the year and they show like five players winning like the biggest hand of the year. I'll be very that'll be kind of exciting if that's the case.
Yeah, my favorite part of any awards ceremony is because there's like five nominees in each category. Like the fifth nominee, the person who's like has no chance of winning, like didn't win any of the previous awards. They're just there because they're nominated. Like I always just sort of like see what their reaction is, what their vibe is. Like I remember when Bryan Cranston was nominated for an Oscar a few years back, and like the people are interviewing him and trying to like drum up his chances, even though he had stood no chance of winning. I love Bryan Cranston, but he was not going to win that Oscar that year. And they're like, anything can happen, Bryan. We're so glad to have you here. And you could tell he's just like, yeah, I'm nominee number five. So that's just always my favorite to just see that vibe from whoever like just knows that they're going to lose, like how they handle it.
Absolutely. And after we watch this video on PokerGo, we will also discuss the latest happenings in the 2024 Mind Sport Olympiad because it only makes sense if we're going to watch poker players get awards, then I'm surely one of us gets an award of some sort from playing the MSO too, right? So just logically that just makes sense to me. So we'll discuss it at the end as well.
Absolutely.
So in that case, Sam, we will begin my little screen share action, and then once we do that, we will get this poker awards ceremony party started. Sam's gonna migrate over to my room to watch this with me because of avoid any sound issues. Are you gonna
You
bring the
get to
computer with you?
see other parts of our apartment, folks. Very exciting opportunity.
You're gonna bring your computer over here? You're gonna
This
come
is
over
my door. Yeah, I'll bring the computer over. We can multi-screen it.
here? Okay. You'll just are you gonna
Oh yeah, there's echo, isn't it?
you'll just mute your computer. That way there's no echo.
Yep.
Okay.
There we go.
Very good. So my favorite Charlie Carroll lookalike is joining me in the same room right next to me right here. And again, we'll begin this about 1.5x speed, and then I can hear the echo, but whatever.
I'm trying to.
I'll just leave. I might echo one. Okay. Hello. Okay, so Sam will join in a minute, and then here we go.
We're so bad at this technology stuff, folks.
That's okay.
It's a very low budget podcast if we can't.
All right, here we go, guys. We're gonna start, and now. Robbie Lynn. I don't know who any of these people are. Robbie Lynn? Oh, it's Robbie Lynn. Like 55 people in there. Oh my god. Like, do they have Jeff Platt as the MC? Is that what we're gonna do? Wouldn't shock me. Need to kind of let the blend shows. Oh, give a bullet.
And with that, we welcome you into the PokerGo studio. This is the Global Poker Awards. You guys are here. You guys have made it. You guys can clap. It is a lot.
4, 5, 6 tables?
I'm Jeff Platt. Happy to be back as your host. So happy to be joined once again by Drea Renee. She has your interviews covered. Now, before we get started, I just want to clear something up. Our WPT World Champion, Daniel Sepio, is here, by the way. Let's hear it for the champ. A lot of rumors of him being cornered in the back by Adam Plisk asking for about $2.4 million back. Those rumors, not true, didn't happen. I would be careful on that boat, though. Yeah.
Monologue.
We also have in attendance the only person happier than Sepio with that $2.4 million WPT overlay. Jack Echo is here.
Can they just hire Jeff Platt instead of Jimmy Kimmel?
It reminds me that the WSOP recently released its schedule. It's still such a prestigious series with only 852 bracelets up for grabs. Some great work by both the World Series of Poker and by the WPT. Some well-deserved nominations across the board and a well-deserved award of merit for Game of Gold. Huh? Let's hear it for Game of Gold. Unquestionably the hottest show in poker. I don't know if you saw earlier today, they just released the cast list for season 2. It's actually just Matt Berkey and Daniel Negreanu. They're just going to argue back and forth for about 8 hours. Nobody's going to be wrong. It's going to be a great show. It was also great on Game of Gold to see Ali Najad and Maria Ho finally catch a break in this industry and get some camera time. Now, they hosted this show before, so they get to be on the hottest show in poker. And I get somebody coming up to me telling me they busted the South Point Nightly because I talked to them 2 years ago. Just doesn't really balance out so well. So I'm going to address this curse topic once and for all, and then we're just going to be done for the night, okay? So it's just not a thing. I mean, look at all of the shows that I've worked on, and none of them have been affected by this thing that they... come on!
Black curse.
I'm Ken Bedlow, and tonight the story of a curse. A once beloved and celebrated figure in the poker world, local poker broadcaster Jeff Platt is now shunned and feared due to his sinister baggage. The Platt Splat, or what is now more widely known as the Platt Curse, what started as a joke propagated by tournament professional Sean D during the World Series of Poker main event became anything but a laughing matter. Oh boy, full story to come later tonight. I'll clear things up. All right, to get the show officially started, let us welcome the president of GPI THM, Mr. Eric Denis.
I'm going to shake Jeff's hand, but we probably shouldn't have a great show. Watching at home, thank you for joining us. Everyone in attendance, win or lose, have a great time tonight. I was just outside Las Vegas, one of the great cities in the world. It's buzzing right now. The weather's perfect. Have a great time tonight. I just wanted to touch on a few things before we start. Before we start hanging out some hardware. And good news, we have trophies this year for all of it. I want to say special hello to my wife Daisy, who's sick and can't be here. She said I look like George Clooney, so I will be leaving the PokerGo studio in 1 minute and go back.
It didn't look like Kenny Haas.
A lot of familiar faces in the crowd. Next year will be our 10th year in America. See a lot of faces that have been here from day one. I saw my friend Joseph Ingram, who was known by everyone back then, but now he's known by everyone plus 10. So, Joey, thank you for coming. Nice to see you. Have a great night tonight. And to everyone who's been with us since day one,
He's a
thank you so
god.
much. Hope you have a great time. I do want to spend a few seconds for a special thank you to Timothy Duckworth. He's in attendance tonight.
It's a nice flower.
As Francine Watson saw yesterday, Jeff has a passion for poker. He spent about 45 minutes telling me how bad of a job I'm doing with the awards, so thank you, Jeff. But on a more positive note, the Head for the first time ever with 37 million page views last year. Thanks to Tim, 85% of that traffic came from him, so thank you, Jeff. On a more serious note, our In the Morning segment that we've been running for a few years would have never happened without 2 people in particular. Chad Holloway, who helped us again this year, and Jennifer Newell, who's in St. Louis. Thank you to you both. It's a stressful video.
That sounds like you need to throw it last
Thanks to good people like Chad. I think
This is a
great job this year with the video.
Yeah. One's a little less good.
The Terry Katz, the Red Hanks, the Morias Mandani. I say this every year, but the fact that I get to say that I'm friends with Morias Mandani is one of the greatest things, one of the greatest thrills of my life. I say that to everyone back home, and they're always excited for me for that. Big thank you for your support. We signed a new deal with PokerGo to have these awards this year, and we hope that continues for years to come. So thank you to PokerGo. I always add to my notes that PokerGo is the big operation, and there's people here working tonight. It's not just the staff or the team that's sitting down over there. So to Pat, to Zach, to Liz, I got this caffeinated. It's going to be a good night. And to everyone working at the show, thank you so much. You guys do all the hard work. You make us look great. So thank you for all your time. Speaking of hard work, to my team. Oh, that one always very crying, so I'm trying to go fast so I don't miss that. The Hans works tirelessly for these awards. Hans and I flag ourselves for these things, so thank you, Hans. The Ethiopian from Boca, the Wed and Rolling from London, the DC from Halifax, Nova Scotia, and Kevin Mathers from Syracuse, New York. Go Orange! To Richard and to Sam, a huge thank you for all you do. By the way, after this is over, you're on your own, have a great time. However, work starts again Monday morning, so get on for that. Every poker fan, every poker player, media person, congrats on another great year. 2023 was banner year. We'll release some stats later on in the month or in March, but by far the biggest year ever for tournament poker records broken around the world. I'm not the first one to tell you that one, but anyways, it's been just an amazing year. So good luck to everyone tonight. Before I leave you in the capable hands of Jeff and Drea, I think we should give a round of applause for Jeff and Drea. They make it look so easy, but it's not an easy job. Although I talked to Ali Najad, who says, Platt's just average. But that's good. I'm honored and privileged to award the first award, to present the first award tonight for GPI Female Player of the Year.
At first, that's interesting.
Kristen Foxen began the 2023 season with a trio of Vegas top 10 finishes, but it was her fourth place finish at a PGP US Poker Open event right here in the PokerGo studio that catapulted her into first in the female POY race for the time of the season. A strong performance at the WPC World Championship in Las Vegas secured her spot at #1. Kristen would finish the year ranked #1 for 35 straight weeks, winning an incredible fourth GPI female POY title. Her poker campaign included 20 results, 7 top 10 finishes, and $1.19 million in winnings. Kristen Foxen, GPI Female Player of the Year.
So no nominees. You can't really throw the year, I guess. Yay.
Kristen's already leading the GPI POI race and the GPI female player POI race. I think the Foxens need to go to IKEA to get maybe a new shelf for this. Congratulations, Kristen, 4-time female player of the year. More importantly, fellow Canadian.
I wasn't expecting to go first. And it's always much more comfortable to play than to speak here, but I did write a little something, so let me. All right, first off, thank you to GPI and PokerGo for hosting this event and recognizing all of the amazing talent within each aspect of the poker industry. I'm always a bit conflicted about this award, to be honest. To me, one of the greatest aspects of poker is the fact that everyone is competing on a completely even and equal playing field. Size, sorry, Alex, gender or age doesn't matter. As a 20-year-old girl, I actually felt empowered sitting at a poker table amongst businessmen and other poker pros, knowing that the only thing that could stop me from taking their money was their poker ability. Thanks also to Alex for reminding me of this from time to time. So the idea of separating men and women when it comes to poker in any capacity is something that I don't like to encourage. With that being said, recognizing the success of women in poker will hopefully highlight the fair playing field and encourage other women to feel comfortable playing with confidence this unbiased great game. It's been really fun to see the level of competition for this award get tougher and tougher each year, and I hope to see that continue. Thank you.
Mind Sport's a little cliche, but I guess what you got, but it's probably good.
Up next is the award for best mid-major circuit or tour. Now, Chris and Alex are two of my absolute favorite people in the poker world. I gotta admit, I hate seeing them at my table in these tournaments. The entire world is represented in this category. Here are the nominees.
Best Mid-Major Circuit. Brazilian Series of Poker.
I've heard of it.
One Good Poker Series.
I've heard of that. I've never heard of this.
World Series of Poker.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I think I heard of this one a little bit.
Oh, gee, I wonder what's going on.
WPT Prime.
The winner is WPT Prime.
Okay. Again, I don't know the context of what makes one better than the other one, so.
You're not gonna hear much from me because I just went like something. How many years ago? Where are you, Kathy? We have this problem in the office all the time. Where's Kathy? How many years ago did I meet you, Kathy? 10 years ago. So 10 years ago, an intern in our China office came to pick me up at the airport. And I'm going to let, first of all, I just want to recognize that Kathy, Angelica Hale has done such a great job. Kathy has taken control and really added so much to this prime, but Kathy was an intern who worked her way up in the World Poker Tour. She has, what she's done here, and to me, I say to her, I always say she's my favorite American story. She is wonderful, she's passionate, she now has a beautiful son who's my godson, and I'm so proud of her. So Kathy, congratulations to you and the team over there and everybody else, and thank you all for recognizing this.
I should have worn higher heels. Thank you, Adam. I'm very honored to accept this award on behalf of WPT Prime. WPT Prime was founded about 2 years ago. Since then, we have expanded our footprint to across 12 countries in 4 continents and have been smashing records. Our season-ending Prime Championship at the win got over 10,000 entries and awarded over 1.3 million to the champion, the largest first place prize money in history ever. We have always strived to be more than to grow the game of poker. Excuse me. One of the things that we're committed to is to bring poker to people around the world, including those new and underserved markets. By bringing those good poker experience, we are hoping to we're bringing people together and creating new opportunities for players, for fans. I'm the living case. My course was changed because of WPT. Now I'd like to give our sincerest thanks to our global casino partners and loyal players who continue to support the tour. Without you, there's no Prime. I also want to give thanks to the entire global tour management department. Anna, Pinky, Sergio, Madison, Lauren, Ken, and Sam at that table. This award is a dedication to your hard work. It's a testament to your hard work and dedication of each of you. Thank you, Adam, for your outstanding leadership. Thank you, Angelica Hale, I know you're watching, for your unwavering support throughout. Adam and Ant have been the constant source of inspiration for the tour. Your vision has helped us to achieve this incredible success on a global scale. Thank you, Danny McDonough, who is the engine behind the Prime events in the Asia Pacific. Matt David, thank you for always thinking about players and our rest of talent, Vince and Tony, our Royal Flush crew, our ambassadors, photographers, videographers, and reporters. Every one of you is integral part of this success. Sorry, a lot of thanks. And finally, this award is dedicated to the entire WPT family who really cared about poker and each other. Such a blessing to work along with you all. Thank you again. Thank you, GPI. Thank you, PokerGo for making this happen. Thanks again for the honor. We look forward to see you on the WPT Prime Tour.
That was beautiful, Adam and Kathy. Thank you. Usually after that award, it's just Hannah drunk up here, takes a shot of tequila, says something from Fast and the Furious, and then we move on. Up next, it is Players' Choice for toughest opponent. Now, the top 100 players in the world voted on it when Rampage accepted this award last year for Stephen Chidwick. This year, Chidwick continues to crush and is nominated again. Rampage continues to lose a lot of money. Here are the nominees.
Player's Choice.
Like Madison nominated.
Just click at them.
Alex Thompson.
It's like, I'm in a tough spot. It'd be kind of cool.
Isaac Haxton. Jason Kuhn.
Why isn't Jamie Goldman?
I know, he's like the toughest person.
And the winner is Stephen Chidwick.
Oh, it's probably Christoph Willisang. He said it's like a long tanker. It'd be the
Stephen can't be
hardest
here
one
tonight.
to play
I'll have to
against.
accept that on my good friend's behalf. We're still not friends. Really.
Oh, he's
Very
not there.
intimidated by him. Here to present the next award is PokerGo social media director,
let's-
live any coordinator,
yeah, move on to the next one.
the lesser known co-host of the PokerGo podcast and commissioner of the PGT Global Poker Award winner, Tim Duckworth.
Thanks for those kind words, Jeff. The Global Poker Award for Best Written Media Content has some incredible work in 2023. Here are your nominees.
Best media content written. The Tales of Billy Baxter, The Final Days of Stu Unger, David Hill for WPT.com.
Wait, what sport?
The Truth Detector, A Poker Player's Guide to a Complex World, Alex O'Brien.
Oh, we're good?
He played at an elite level for 7 decades. Doyle Brunson remembered. Connor Richards for Poker News. PokerGo might have just saved televised poker. That's it for poker.org.
Oh, I wonder who's gonna win.
I know, right?
The winner is
That might not be. Like,
David Hill.
Oh, okay.
which one was it again?
I don't know. What any is.
Pretty cool. Thanks to
I'll
Lance
go
Bradley
back
for assigning me the story and to Tim for his amazing edits and to everybody at WPT for this. I'm a writer. I write a lot of different kinds of stories, but my favorite kinds of stories are writer gambling stories. And I have this kind of speech that I've practiced many times throughout my life whenever I've talked to editors or agents or producers trying to pitch them hand in hand some gambling yarn. And I thought I might share it with you guys tonight if I won this. I tell them that gambling stories are the best kind of stories that you can tell because they have everything that a good story needs. A gambling story has risk, which is essentially just bravery, heroes showing courage in the face of danger. Gambling stories have luck, which is essentially magic, the unseen forces that control the world around us. And gambling stories have wit. There's this saying that I like a lot, that the strong prey on the weak, but the clever prey on the strong. And everybody loves stories about the clever preying on the strong, and that's what gambling stories are. The reason that people like stories like this is because most people, like myself, are not brave or lucky or clever. So I appreciate everybody in this room for being all those things so that I can tell your stories. But most importantly, I appreciate Billy Baxter for the incredible life that he has lived and the stories that he continues to create even now into his 80s. I appreciate him and thank him for trusting me to tell his story the right way. I was thinking about this morning, and when I first met him and invited me into his home, he lives in this beautiful, gorgeous home with fine art all over the walls. The first thing that Billy did was he took me to show me all of his trophies. Some of them were older than I was, and so these were monuments. These were totems to moments in his life that he was proud of. And so thank you for this trophy. And I just hope I'm lucky enough to live to be 84. Maybe one day I'll take this thing off the shelf and pull the dust off of it and show it to some wide-eyed whippersnapper like me. So thank you again. Appreciate this.
I have to check that article out.
No rulings needed at these tables, but if we needed one, we would be in good shape. Our next award is for best tournament director, and here are the nominees.
Tournament
The
director.
weirdest flow. It's like this.
Jack Apple.
Yeah.
Goldberg.
I don't know what that was.
Matt Savage.
You know.
Toby Stone.
All right, I mean, it's just totally because he's not American. That's what for him. Just that one basis.
Okay.
The winner is Toby Stone.
Oh my God! I totally thought.
You called it.
Woo. Is he even there?
Unfortunately, Toby couldn't be here tonight. I hear he's a little busy, right? We happily accept this award on his behalf. Now, before we get to our next award, let us send it out to the floor for the first time tonight. Here is Drea Renee. Hey, Drea.
Hey,
I-
Jack, thank you
I
so
wanted
much. I'm so excited to be back and a part of this incredible evening. I am now joined by the talented and a man who can do it all, Ali Najad. Ali, I mean, you are a standout in your field, being nominated once again for Broadcaster of the Year, but you haven't won it yet. Do you feel like this is your year? I heard what you said about that.
I think, where's this whole thing about me saying something about Jeff is concerned? No, I mean, listen, this year in particular, I've worked with every single person who's in the category, and I don't think they can put a foot wrong no matter who wins it, because genuinely, and I'm not just saying this, like everybody who's been nominated is good, so there's not gonna be any hard feelings on this. Sure.
Okay, we'll see, we'll see. Fantastic job hosting the show that has lit the poker world on fire, Game of Gold. Tell us a little bit about your experience and one of your most memorable moments.
Yeah, I mean, look, it lit the poker world on fire, that's for sure. It had very little to do with me, because I wasn't a big part of the final project, but I was super flattered that GG would tap me to come out there and be a part of the festivities, and it was just something different in kind of an industry where sometimes we're challenged, right, to innovate and come up with new iterations of content, and so
Jamie Gold
obviously,
for
I'm looking forward
season
to season 2. Obviously, it was wonderful for Maria and everybody who was a part of it.
Yeah,
I think
I
to
mean,
get
I
poker players
would-
to be a little bit apathetic at times about the
totally
game,
fine.
excited about
Mike
something a little bit
Mattisaf for
different.
season 2. I mean, come on.
Okay,
Is there any surprises coming up for season 2?
You know, it's funny, I just had a conference call with guys on GG
Modern
last night, so you would think
technology.
I would have the inside track on that info. And no matter how hard I try to get them to give me something about, are we filming? Where are we filming? Are we doing anything different? Can I be a part of it? They were like,
Still
find out when the time is right. Just like, okay, so I got nothing.
Kind of a
I don't know.
weird-
And you're a busy guy, Ali. What's up next for you?
I will be heading to South Korea to Jeju for the Titan Super High Roller Series coming up in just about a week's time, and you know those things go.
Kind of
well, so
weird to
we'll
have, like,
roll that
an
later.
interview in the
Place,
middle
I love
of
it.
Everyone has to like listen to it. Like, it's not like it's like
Yeah.
before and they
You're
cut
definitely
to it.
well, congratulations.
Well, this is a little.
Yeah, I think that's a weird thing.
All right, thank you so much. Barry, you said a standout. There are like 6 of us total in the whole entire industry. And now it's time for a look at the resume put together by the GPI Player of the Year, Bin Wang.
Despite a strong start to 2023, winning one of the first events of the year at Borgata, a WSOP circuit main event ring in Las Vegas, and the WPT Showdown Championship at Seminole, Bin Wang would need to wait until September to take over the GPI Player of the Year race. A few more wins and high-scoring results would follow, and Bin would end the 2023 poker season on top of the leaderboard for 18 consecutive weeks and hold on to win POY. Wang would earn results in Atlantic City, Florida, Philadelphia, Las Vegas, Maryland, Oklahoma, and Texas in 2023. His 2023 campaign included 55 results, 6 wins, 20 top 10 finishes, and a career best $6.64 million in winnings. Bin Wang, GPI Poker Player.
He held it for 18 weeks. Boxing had it for 33
Bin
weeks,
could not be here tonight. There's a $150 nightly at Horseshoe Council Bluffs yet, but we will happily accept this award on his behalf.
which makes about 1 year.
Now, the Run Good Poker Series failed to win their 13th straight mid-major trophy tonight, so this next presenter could be a bit dangerous. I heard Tana is getting after it. We haven't seen anybody this drunk here since Jeff Lennon, 23 minutes into the PGT Championship. Here's the man who got in the seat, Tana Karn. Thank you for that rousing introduction, Jeff. I appreciate that. My legacy outlives me, I guess. But I'm super excited to be up here for this next category, whether it's long or short form, whether it's $20,000 camera or a $1,000 iPhone. Please never stop creating. I'm here to present the best media content for best video. Here are the nominees.
This is
Yes, right. Our winner interview?
A love letter to the $1 million game at Costa Casino.
Our winner interview?
Never heard of it.
Bond, nothing to do. What makes Phil Ivey the GOAT? Untold stories. PokerGo, Anthem celebration
Look at
flag.
that.
PokerGo.
Marley Sprout.
I keep predicting that PokerGo will win in these categories and they haven't. So I don't know.
And the winner is
I don't know who was judging.
PokerGo Celebration Flag.
Oh, whoa. Oh, finally, they play a little self-awarding.
I never heard of like any of those other 3 videos.
I've heard of our videos. Does that count?
The 2 people tirelessly worked for this video to happen. One, you all know Brian Ball's, but he's not here. He promised he'll come up later, come on over and take some photos, but he played a big role. And of course, many other folks from Caesars, WSOP, giving us the space and the opportunity. But there was one person that produced this event, and he's actually here right now producing this event. So Pat McMath, can you get out of the control room and come over here as soon as you can, please? I've been working with this man for 18 years.
Oh, there he is.
Come on, Pat. I've been working with him for 18 years. I do not know one person that can put in 14-hour days, day after day, during WSOP and many other events that we've done. That you really deserve. Hey.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
Thank you so much, Maury. I mean, it's been an absolute honor to work with Maury for so many years on so many shows, and I was so thankful to be a part of this Celebration of Life show for Doyle. I knew the show was so important to Maury and to the entire poker community. A lot of people to thank on this, especially Brian Ballsbach. Brian did an amazing job hosting the show. Watch out, Jeff. They might be coming for this next year. A huge thank you to WSOP, Ty Stewart, Jack Ethel, all the work that they did to help with this ceremony during a very busy World Series of Poker. I'd like to thank my amazing crew that worked on the show. John Bovenizer, Antonio Obrego, Paul Campbell, who's out here on camera, and Ben Zuck, who edited this thing, did an amazing job. Also want to thank just everybody. I want to also thank my beautiful wife at home, Alex. She has supported me so much. And I want to thank everybody in this room. I want to thank that everybody comes here. It's our 5th year doing it. It's my 5th year doing this show. I hope everybody's having a great time. Last thing, I want to thank everybody back in the control room. I'm coming. All right. Enjoy the show.
Oh,
Again, usually any award show, there's a few moments of,
Clarify,
you know,
Dang is on
amusement
camera.
in there.
Campbell just sits here and gets hammered every Poker Awards night.
Should-
Had a little time to get back there. Right, up next is the award that honors the best vloggers, those who allow us to see the player's perspective.
Oh, that's
And
kind of us,
we're
right?
taking
Yeah,
we're sold out. It's a $50 pot, and I want to show the run out where my opponent had aces and lost. Thank you. Here are the nominees.
I guess we're not poker vloggers per se, but we're
Burton.
never heard of him.
I know of him.
Ring.
Oh, I don't know him either.
Well, not him.
Daniel Negreanu.
I think I've heard of him a little bit. I think I met him once.
Brad Bowen.
Hey.
Yeah. Okay.
Alexander Dykes.
Oh, there's 5 nominees.
Again, we talked about 2 of those
Alright.
5 during our poker vlog
David
episode.
Britton.
Wow, none of them win. Wow. He's not there, so. Oh no.
Here tonight, unfortunately, don't have to accept that well-deserved award.
That's funny. That's mean.
Now, Daniel Negreanu sent me a winner's speech just in case. I figured I'd go ahead and read it.
Oh,
Daniel says, quote, "Of course I won. What the fuck is wrong with you idiots?"
no,
Moving on.
that's not fun.
When we're scrolling Twitter, I think it's fair to say if you're funny and you don't get into politics, we like you. Here are the nominees for best Twitter/X personality.
I'm on Twitter. That's totally me, right?
Caitlin Komeski.
I don't know who this person is.
Will Jaffe.
I know Jonathan Jaffe, but not Will.
Jamie Kirksetter.
Okay.
I think yeah, we know her fairly well at this point.
Marley Sprout.
I don't know who she
Don't know.
is. I feel so out of touch with the poker community. watching
Winners.
this.
Yeah, that's what
Marley
I thought might have happened because we just don't know everything.
A good tweet, by the way, that she was considering Red Eye to Vegas for the award show. But we'll take that award. We'll give it to one of you guys. Thank you, Nikki, for the assistance. One more say, whichever one of you that was. Appreciate that.
I'm not sure the show
The
didn't
next
hold
presenter
there.
recently updated his Instagram followers on his Furman, New Mexico Sanford college shoots parlay. That's Sanford, not Sanford. And he's nominated for best poker personality. Boy, that's my vote. Here's Sappy Poker.
Who?
Thank you, Jeff, for the kind words. I appreciate that. By the way, that did it. Thank you.
Sappy
It's
Poker.
an absolute pleasure and honor to be here. We've had some crazy final table performances this year. Let's see those nominees.
Final table performance.
Alright.
Warwick O'Neill. DPT Prime.
Show us a clip of it, please. I mean,
Eric Seidel. WSOP
Okay.
Paradise Cesar High Roller.
okay.
Sepion. WPT World
This is-
Championship at Win Las
Maybe we
Vegas.
need to show like a
Daniel Wagner.
little
WSOP main event.
perform. I mean, he didn't do much. He just waited and then got.
He made the fewest
And the winner
mistakes.
is Daniel Sepiol.
Oh, I was saying for this Weinman, I'm gonna be like, what? So he's not that. Yeah. I mean, he played well, but he didn't. It wasn't like a transcendental
Right.
great mercy.
Definitely didn't write anything for this, so we'll see how it goes. But wanted to thank GPI and PokerGo for having all this out. Want to thank Ray in the win for being the best poker room in Vegas. I think it's everyone's favorite room to play. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, everyone at WPT for maybe a little biased, but hosting the best, running the best tournament of all time. Gotta thank my parents, like my 2 biggest supporters. My first poker memory is playing heads up 7-card stud versus my dad on the couch.
Oh,
Thank my beautiful girlfriend Maricar supporting me. 2 good buddies, Taylor Black and Daniel Schwartz. They really believed in me. And then lastly, when I was 18 years old, I moved down to Bloomington, Indiana, and the first real professional poker player I met was Justin Brown, and I immediately looked up to him and thought he was the coolest guy I know. And you know, as the years went on, we got closer. I I looked up to him in many other ways but poker. And if I never met you, Justin, I'll definitely never win this. So love you, buddy. Thanks, guys.
Oh,
See, that was sweet. That was pretty good. Again, he wasn't prepared. Wasn't enough paper.
Thank you, Daniel. That's great. Congratulations. Oh, this is going to be a fun one. Let us send it out to Drea Renee on the floor. Drea.
Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah.
I'm now joined by the multi-talented and so funny Caitlin Kaminsky. Caitlin, first of all, you look amazing. You do. Yes, girl. Yes. You're coming into tonight with 3 nominations. What does it mean to you to be so well loved by the poker community? What an outrageous question. Oh my God. I don't know if that's true. I mean, I'm 0-2. True. I'm 0-2 so far, and if I go over 3,
Never heard of her.
I'm gonna put shoe polish all over Jeff Platt's car. I'm gonna put tacks in Tim Duckworth's rugby shoes, and I'm going to, I don't know, throw a water balloon filled with pudding at Maurice Caviari. I'm sorry, those are my demands. Those are my threats. Those are my demands, and that's what I'll go with. Okay, all right, you guys heard it here first. Okay, talk to me about these impersonations. I mean, you do everyone. Who are some of your favorites to impersonate? Matt Berkey is hilarious. His mastery of the English language is a unique treasure that I adore. I love Nick Bertucci, my buddy. Nobody looks better in a pair of aviators. Veronica Brill, the gorgeous. I mean, I like doing any of the hot girls. Anytime I can put on a blonde wig and cosplay as a hot girl, like, count me in. I'm done. I'm there. Is there anyone you'd like to do that you haven't yet? Well, I love your questions. Anyway, I haven't done Jeff Platt yet. I think.
Or East Coast Sam.
Jeff Platt.
Oh.
Just like looking around the room, Tana Karn would be a great one. Haley, there's another quality hot girl that I have got to do. And what's coming up for you next, Caitlin? Can we see you on Game of Gold season 2? Maybe? If this is my audition, yes, I would love to go on the hit poker show, Drea. Yes, I am down. and
It's like, there's no way she's going on. There's
I am appreciative poker, got decent results, and also I'm outrageous, and I did not know I was doing this interview. So thank you so much, Caitlin, and good luck tonight.
Hey, Brian can go on the show. That can't too, right?
We run through these things in rehearsals, and you just can't imitate a Caitlin. You just never know what we're going to get. Case in point. Thank you, Drea. Thank you, Caitlin. Let's take a look at an incredible 2023 from our mid-major player of the year, Nick Patel.
Mid-major.
Mid-major.
I mean, they should at least say like what that
The
means.
2023
I mean,
mid-major
is that-
POI race was wide open throughout the season, going right down to the wire as Preston McEwen and company were chasing Nick Papillo.
But
But
who's
Nick
he?
Papillo would survive to win the title. Papillo grabbed the mid-major lead in July following a strong showing during the summer in Vegas, where he captained his first World Series of poker bracelets. A late win in the Dealers
Not a
Points Championship, the WPT World Championship win would prove
it's
to be
not.
crucial in Nick securing the title. Papillo would end 2023 sitting atop the mid-major POI leaderboard for 25 consecutive weeks. Nick would earn results in Atlantic City, Oklahoma, Northern California, Los Angeles, Las Vegas, and Mississippi in 2023. His 2023 campaign included 45 results, 3 wins, 21 top 10 finishes, and $974,000 in winnings. Nicholas Papillo, GPI Mid-Major Player of the Year.
Nick could not be here tonight. We will happily accept this beautiful award on his behalf. That owns my soul. Okay, moving on. Some awards we wanted to hit on that were handed out before the show. We have Fans' Choice for Best Hand. That was awarded to the Triton Poker Series for the craziest pre-flop action of all time. We have Best Streamer. That was Bert Stevens, the chain smoker playing for millions on stream. That works for us. The Hendon Mob Award goes to Slovenia's Casey Castle. He now has 50 flags on his Hendon Mob. 50. That is absurd. And the PGT Player of the Year, Isaac Caxton. Let's hear it for Isaac. One of the most remarkable years we have ever seen, clearly just because he was wearing a mask. All right, up next, it's Best Podcast. So the preliminary list of nominees was only 1,874 entries long, but these 4 made the final stage.
Oh my God, please, please.
Oh my God,
please.
it's
Come on. Come
Best Friend Podcast.
Boo. Come on. 2 fish, 2 fish, 2 fish. These are all the major players.
The Chip Rate Poker Podcast.
Oh man.
Never heard of those at all.
Poker.
I've heard of ours. I haven't heard of theirs. So.
Yeah. Why weren't we nominated?
This is like our all right, next year. Next year.
Next
And the
year.
winner
Next year.
is the Chip Race.
Never.
I think we were 5th in the nominees, but
They're going to be
you know,
a
we only have
Jimmy
4.
Ware's statement. David
So,
Darren Barry would like to thank
next
you
year.
at Poker, in particular Chris Bergevall and Kat Arnsby for their continued support. We'd also like to thank our long-suffering partner Sharon, who does all our graphics, and Amir Ray, who buys all of their signature flamboyant shirts. This award used to be so much easier to rig. You just needed to have dirt on Jamie Kerstetter. Now you need to beg Joe Stapleton not to campaign against you. Seriously, though, when we started the show, we just wanted to be half as good as Thinking Poker. We think Andrew and Carlos did extraordinary work this year and really hope that they win this award next year.
Almost halfway.
At least Negroni didn't boo after they won this year. I mean, he's not here, but still. All right, it is time for one of our new awards this year, standalone festival or series. So different from the other tour and event awards, I guess. I'm not sure. Here's GPITHN's Roland Boothby. He'll help explain rolling. Thanks, Jeff. I'll do my best. With this new category, what we really want to do was acknowledge some of the incredible independent festivals that we have in our industry. These festivals, they coexist with the marquee tours that have probably done a little bit better over these awards over the years. But all the nominees tonight, they attract players from all around the world, and they are providing player experiences that are creating bucket destinations for thousands of players around the world. And for that, it's congratulations to all of them. And the nominees are
Best Standalone Festival. Irish Poker Open.
Okay. Roll it up.
Malta Poker Festival.
Kind of heard of that maybe.
Seminole Hard Rock Poker Open.
I've kind of heard of that sort of in
Yeah.
a weird way.
Millions Poker Series.
I know
Okay.
the win's a place, so I guess yeah.
I like Ireland, so I'm gonna go Irish Open.
winner is Win Millions.
Did he even look at the cards?
So win wins. He's tall.
This tall.
Hey, Josh, didn't expect this, so we can.
He's like head and shoulders above them.
Two things to say about the Win Millions. I think we were very fortunate. The first Win Millions was during a time that we would all like to forget coming out of the pandemic. And super fortunate we were able to run this and bring a $10 million guarantee to the poker world, which hadn't been done for quite some time. We decided to run it back the next year and spent 3 days sweating a major loss, and I vowed I would never do that again. And then I met Adam and the folks from WPT, and we ran it straight back in December. So that's where we're at. But Win Millions is going on right now. Very proud of it. It's a great series, happens every March. And thanks to Ray and Andy here for putting together a phenomenal schedule. And thank you so much.
Got nothing to say.
The
Okay.
win wins.
Is that it?
Oh no.
And-
And tonight the story of a curse. It's a bit of a devilish feeling here, you know. Were you just sitting here waiting for us the whole time? What? No, it's just meditating. Come on in. How are you? Hey, Jeff Black. Nice to meet you. Hello. Sorry, I just gotta take a caution. That's a little weird. Oh, don't get that weird, but no, whatever. Yeah. Thanks for talking to us. Appreciate it. Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for coming to talk to me. I really appreciate the opportunity to clear this up. Yeah, let's do it. Let's start with the main event this year. How did you go about choosing your victims? Victims. I assume you're asking how I chose who to interview, and that's just a process between me and our producers, and then we move forward with potential interviews. So what you're saying is the producers are in on this. Now, when you choose a victim, do you and the producers have some sort of agreement that you'll split their soul somehow? Split their souls? I don't even know where to begin with that. What are you writing? Just some notes. Don't worry about it. I knew the story had legs. I also knew we needed more inside info, but had to tread very, very carefully. We got another break when a man reached out to us going by the Buffalo Soldier. He said he was a coworker of Jeff Platt and had been studying the origins of curse.
Yes, sir. You're gonna blur my face out.
Of course, your safety is our number one priority.
Change my voice.
Yeah, all that, no problem.
Yeah, I work very closely with Jeff. I mean, we do shows pretty much every single day together. I'm petrified of the curse. I have a family, man.
And many changes when you guys are broadcasting together, something to take precaution.
Yeah, I don't want to make it obvious, but I do take as many precautions as I
Like
can.
cringe.
Smart.
This is like Kids' Choice Awards level comedy.
So I have this working theory. So take notes. Jeff moves to Sin City. He wants to get better at poker. Yeah, he sold his soul to the devil. Think about it. World Series, final tables, online poker, multiple tournament titles. I know Jeff. We all know Jeff. This doesn't just happen by accident.
Yeah, we've had other victims assume that the devil's work is at play as well. Makes sense.
I have evidence, Ken. I mean, take a look at this right here. That's another soul seller himself. That's Jeff and Sean Perry. They have horns.
The devil himself, damning evidence.
Yeah, and there's more. Natalie Bodie, Phil Hellmuth. Look at the background.
I mean, there it
Yes,
is.
horns. It's all right here.
Can I take some photos? Sure, take this one. Sure. What do you think of that? What do you think of that? What do I think of this? Ken, it's clearly just a Photoshop picture of my head detached from my body with horns on it, which
That's
I
a
don't have.
point. Detached head from body, work of devil. Remember
No.
to look up on Satanpedia.
Work of Photoshop, and what the hell is Wikipedia?
That's right. Let me show you one more photo, okay?
Okay.
Remember this? You do that.
Well, do I remember this? No, Ken, because this is the Legions of Doom from WWE, and you just photoshopped my head on one body and Sean Perry's head on another.
Why are you so angry?
Look, I'm not that angry.
Stuck
This is pretty ridiculous.
in a devil loop with Sean Perry.
No, there's no devil.
We can probably help you. Did you get stuck in the paid telegram?
There's no devil loop with Perry. There's no Okay, maybe he got me for a little bit on the Telegram pics and we had the 9 years, but the whole devil thing, no, not a thing, no.
Jeff.
What is
It's,
like? I gotta be a dramatic reporter.
I am a dramatic reporter.
Is it a 60-minute audition, Ken?
No. After our interview with Jeff, we finally spoke with Eric Denis, president of GPI and the Enema, and he gave us the most alarming stat of all. Directly after the main event, the top 3 most searched for names on the Enema's website were number 3, Daniel Granu, number 2, Daniel Wyman, and number 1, I just saw Jeff Platt on my television. Am I going to die now? People are scared and they want answers. We only hope the authorities will do something soon. For all of us at Gino, do you hear that?
I think he's Mike still.
What the hell was that?
All these crybabies, just talk to me. I don't know 15 versus 8. How do you take that tweet straight up your candy app? And they don't even know. They don't even know that the curse is real.
Jeff.
Jesus. Okay. I mean, at least cut in some of the main event people and then they busted or something. That was really bad.
State of Ohio. Hello.
Thank you. I heard a quote recently that said photography is about capturing souls and not smiles. And this makes me wonder why Jeff Platt is nominated for this award tonight. But in all seriousness, it's an honor to celebrate the hardworking people who make us and our game look incredibly cool while we sit around in our sweats and complain about losing flips. Here are the nominees for Best Photo.
Best media content. Photo. Matthew Berglund.
No, at least they actually show like the
Rachel K. Winkler.
actual thing.
Danny Maxwell.
Okay. I kind of like not the first one or the third one. Though.
Winner is Rachel Winner.
Which one? This really should show which one. I already forgot which one was that one. Yeah.
Oh, hello, this is so cool. Thank you. I made a couple notes. I wanted to
go on.
thank you to GPI and PokerGo for putting together this great event. It's really a great way to recognize the people in the industry that are working so tirelessly with so much passion throughout the year. I've only been in the industry for a couple of years, but I've met many inspirational and really dedicated individuals in this industry. I'm really pleased to be a part of it. And I'm really thankful for a lot of people in the industry who keep bringing me on to photograph these events. Poker News, A131 with Haley and Tana, the Run Good series, WSOP Circuit, WPT. I appreciate you guys just continually bringing me back. I love being part of this industry. I can't imagine doing anything else. Special thanks to Nick Schulman for, after a crazy final table performance, just kind of being willing to play with me in that space and let me take a photo that I thought kind of captured the persona of his final table performance. So thank you to Nick. One more quick shout out to my husband, Brian, who's here with me. He is my biggest supporter, my best friend, and always my favorite winner to photograph. So, thank you.
Thank you, Rachel. Congratulations. All right, it is time next for our charitable community initiative, something that is definitely an award that we cherish. And one at GPITH, and wanted to add the word community too. It's such an easy choice when you add that word to the award to highlight the 2021 GPI Female Player of the Year, Nadia Magna. She's had such an impact on the game. She's been so generous in giving away so many seats to women, to really influencing this upswing in female participation. Nadia's already mid-giveaway for 2 World Series of Poker main event seats. This is just what she does, and it's oh so impressive, and it is oh so important. So it's an honor of mine to accept this year's Global Poker Award for Charitable Community Initiative on behalf of Nadia Magna. Let's hear it for Nadia.
Yay.
This beautiful well-deserved trophy is waiting for her whenever she can make it here. All right, let's send it back to the field.
Whenever
Again,
she
it
can.
is-
Oh,
Greg.
back in-
And now joined by the hilarious Greg Goes All In. Greg, great content, love the YouTube. Tell me what it means to be here tonight. Public nominations and being recognized by your peers.
I watched
Maybe watching,
some of his
they say
stuff
you
earlier.
can't be good
It's
at
all
poker,
right.
you have to be good at making memes. So here I am. Thanks for having me.
Greg, you put out a lot of content. How do you continue to come up with all these fresh and funny ideas?
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge about making poker memes for 3 years is that, I don't know, after, I felt kind of like towards the end of the first year, I was like kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel. But I think in the past year or so, I experimented a lot with playing with characters and storyline, and that's been very helpful.
And there are a lot of funny people in the poker content space. I saw your bestie Seti is here. Before the show, you said you guys had not beef, but chicken teriyaki. Can you elaborate?
That's correct. So for those not familiar, I make poker memes on YouTube, and recently this year there's been a new up-and-comer poker meme creator, and that is the Seppi Poker right there. And it threatens me immensely.
Are you feeling pressure to stay on top?
I feel a lot of pressure, but it's also at the same time really good to see other creators in the space. So I wouldn't say that Seth and I have beef. We have chicken teriyaki.
And what's coming up next for you, Greg?
Hopefully an award.
All right. Well, good luck tonight. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Daria.
Back to you, Matt.
Well, Greg, we'll see if you get that award right here, right now. Best short form content creator. Here to present this TikTok trophy award is the Vice President of PokerStars North America. Chops, it's here. Let's hear it from him.
Oh, it's us, right? They make short form content.
An award
And
near and dear to my heart. Poker content is in our DNA. Going back to Wicked Chops, Raw Vegas, This Week in Poker, but also thank you to others in this room. Ali Najab, where are you? Yo, Poker Road. Like, let's give a shout out to all of this old stuff that these guys created, which is partly why we're here today. Lance Bradley, Poker Biz, right? Exactly. That. It's a fun one. So let's see the nominees.
Short form content creator. Caitlin Komeski,
Yep.
Gregory Liao, Marley Sprague,
The two fish at the table.
Alexander Veit,
We'll get there next year. Next year's our year.
Everybody worthy of this award, but there can only be one winner. And that would be Caitlin.
Yay.
So they had the interviewer talk to her because they knew she was going to win an award later, I guess.
So,
I assume, right?
you're laughing at me. I'm gonna be honest, y'all. I underestimated the amount of cleavage this dress had. I really did. I really did. I feel real out there. This is an impression of every man who's spoken to me tonight. Yeah, Caitlin, it's like really good to see you. Oh, I didn't realize there's so many rafters up there. Anyway, thank you for making eye contact, all your peers. I want to thank all of the brands that I've been lucky enough to work with and be hired by, who have taken supporting me to, actually like supporting my career and like how I pay rent. So I'm super grateful to Poker Night in America and Todd Anderson, who sponsored my podcast Hazels, and who hired me to do commentary for their live streams this summer. I want to thank Sarah Herring and Eric at poker.org. I dropped my word. I'm a little nervous. It's okay. I want to thank WPT and PokerGo for hiring me to be a commentator. I am very graceful and great under pressure. I think that's emanating from me very clearly right now. I also don't think that I would have made it this far without the support of my female friends in poker and the women in poker. Some of the first women who ever followed me and spotlighted my work were Jamie Kerstetter and Veronica Brill. Y'all welcomed me in immediately with open arms. You always made it easy to be at events, and you befriended me, and I will ever be grateful for that. Veronica, it was my joy and pleasure to impersonate you outside of a bunch. You're the best. I love you. Thank you for being such a doll. I also want to thank my personal friends back in Texas, Poker Face Ash, Gorgeous in Houston, Jess Richards, Anastasia, Caroline, I love you. I also want to thank 3 of my really close female friends, Marley Sprague, Melissa Schubert, and my soulmate. I'm so sorry, your husband, but you're my soulmate. No, we actually sort of like first started to collaborate this year, or last year this time at the GPI Awards. It was like our 1-year anniversary, so thanks for coming to our 1-year anniversary, y'all. Honestly, like, you support me as a friend. It's so fun to collaborate with you. I'm forever grateful that we became close and we became friends and collaborators, and I can't wait to let's see you up here next year, receiving all the awards and getting all the praise. You're so special, and I can't wait for your big game. I'm so sorry. Anyway, that's enough about me. It's my word. I'm not going to say very much. I'm just looking for an ending. Let's look for an ending. Oh, so if anybody else would like to sponsor me as a player or hire me as a commentator, I'm really good at getting laughs. I don't know if it portrays on the TV, but like there are laughs in the room for sure. Anyway, thank you to Poker. Thanks for everyone who likes and retweets my videos, who leaves supportive comments, who says hi at poker tables when I'm like in my serious mode and you break me out and you remind me I'm a birthday clown. I forever am so grateful for the support and feedback that I've gotten from the poker community. And I've been talking a really long time now, so thank you. Goodbye.
Yay.
Hey, let's say here. A couple problems with the trophy after you dropped it. If you could hold it up, Parker. Yeah, there's a chip at the top. There's a hair. Okay, bring that right. All right. Well. Just don't expect a new one.
It's funny.
That's free for Nikki after 8-1. That was something. This next award is presented to the player that broke on to the poker scene in a huge way in 2023. The favorite for breakout player has to be Jeremy Becker with 20 live wins last year, which is 20 more than Landon.
Oh, it's not nominees for best breakout player. It's just
The only friends table, not a huge fan of that. Becker isn't nominated, by the way. Here are the nominees.
oh,
GPI breakout player. Jan Ons,
Yay.
William Kopp,
not Billy Cobb. Yeah, Billy.
Samuel Laskowitz,
Oh, Samuel.
Oh, fellow
That's-
Samuel,
that's-
yeah.
Santosh Savana,
Never heard of any.
No.
I'm so out of,
I think I remember saying William Kopp's name in
Jan
like, the
Dorrance.
recaps and the main World Tours of the summer. That's it.
Jan's going to be here tonight. We'll happily accept the award on his behalf in his 15th year of crushing poker. But breakout player awards too. All right, up next is the Fans' Choice Award for favorite live stream. Our first year in a while without a massive cheating scandal to influence this one. I guess we'll save the cheating scandals for best online poker site.
Wow.
And the nominees are.
Fans Choice, best live stream. Hustler Casino Live,
So I've watched that from time to time.
Poker at the Ledge,
I don't really watch that.
PokerGo,
I mean, we're literally watching it now.
Brighton Poker,
And the winner is Poker Stars Live.
Yay.
I've never really watched it live before.
I've never heard of any.
Oh, PokerGo, you've heard of
Yeah,
that?
PokerGo, yeah.
Custom, you know, we talked about that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's it.
Wasn't expected to win. Well, not make the team. Wow. Thank you so much. This is a real honor. One of the team deserves so much. It's kind of, I feel really bad because I'm here sort of living up in Vegas whilst my entire team is in Paris working their butts off. So sorry, guys. Maybe it's like poetic in being live, working on something that's currently winning an award. Probably not. Anyway, thank you so much to Eric and the GPI for running these awards. It's just super happy to be here, and thank you. And obviously, massive thank you to PokerStars. It has been a long time that PokerStars has been investing in content and just truly understands the power of telling these poker stories. So thank you so much for the continued support and believing in us and believing in the team. To the team themselves, there's too many names to mention. It takes a village, or probably in our case, a traveling circus to actually, make these things happen. But I got to call out a few people. Gary Davis, creative genius. Gary, thank you. Nina Hume, Nikki Parks and her team just making stuff happen for us, getting us everywhere we need to be. Richard Taunton taking care of tech and the edit, thank you so much. Frank Baglino, our DP, and my husband, you know how good you are, great partner in life, and poker, thank you. Ben Strivens, Chris Cohen, Paul Jackson, Matt Gilland, Justina Brown, Alan Saunders, Patrick Chan, there are so many, but thank you. Thank you for the late nights, thank you for your commitment and passion all the time. You go the extra mile consistently, and thank you also to our brilliant set, lighting, tech, and just this huge team that comes together. And actually, it's a team that really hasn't changed that much over the years. I think it's testament to how close we are. Thank you so much to every single one of you. Obviously, cannot not shout out to the amazing commentary team, James, Joe, Maria, Griffin, Nick. The fans tune in for you. You are consummate pros. All of you make us look good every day. So thank you. I love you guys. Thank you to the wider PokerStars fam. So Toby Stone, award-winning Toby Stone. Now, so I think it's not always the case that tournament and TV get along, but in our case, we absolutely do. We all come from the same place. It's a huge sort of point of passion and love for the game and the players, and so us coming together, work together is always an absolute pleasure. It is super special to win this award. I want to thank all the fans for voting, like just how amazing to be recognized by the people that you're trying to entertain. So thank you so much. And thank you very much, obviously, to the players, like to every player who's been on our live streams and come up and cooperated and done interviews and probably jumped through way too many hoops than is acceptable when you're about to play for millions of dollars. I thank you so much for always kind of like being friendly to us, being nice to us and helping us. So thank you. Yeah, I've probably forgotten so many people, and I'm sorry if I have, but thank you, everybody. This is just amazing.
Y'all need a sideline reporter. I've kind of been shunned in the States, so I'm happy to do a little bit of traveling for you guys. All right, our next category is the award for best event. Just off the list with the $200 Run Good Turbo Bounty Event, which I did win, by the way. That's not why I'm mentioning it. It's just very good to shout out Ben Irwin. Here to present this award, the owner of Card Player Lifestyle. Good to see him here in Vegas, a former Global Poker Award winner, Robbie Straczynski.
So I hope I will have heard of all these events. Like, it'd be pretty
It's Jeff, really
weird if I never heard of it.
Eric asked me to present the award for best event, so it seems like a great opportunity to let you know that
Main
tomorrow down the street, the Big Game Festival is going to be happening. You're welcome to come. In all seriousness, here are the nominees for best event.
Best event. Irish Poker Open main event. World Series of Poker.
Yeah,
main
Oh,
that's
yeah.
gotta be it, right? That's the event.
WPT Prime Championship at Wynn Las Vegas.
Yeah.
WPT World Championship at Wynn Las
I mean, the main event, it's apples to apples, and we're the best apple, you know?
I'm gonna pick Irish Poker Open.
And the winner is the World Series of Poker main event.
I mean, at least like throw in some non-main events in there to be like, so it's not just social easy comparison point.
Yeah.
Have like the one drop or something.
Well, hi, everybody. I wasn't so sure that the World Series of Poker was being recognized this year, which I think is amazing. But first and foremost, I really do want to thank GPI, Eric, Maury, Pat McMath. Oh, that's a great show here. Jeff Platt, hope that doesn't make me unlucky talking about Jeff. Good guy. And next to Robbie. Robbie, don't get too close. Really, 2023, what a great year. It was a fantastic year. We had the best main event we ever had. We had 10,043 entries. We had the biggest overall festival that we've ever had. We had more players. We had more prize money. Between all the events and all the side events, we just were like $200 short of $500 million that actually came in.
We got to see Phil Hellmuth.
So it's an amazing year, but it's also a testament of how popular poker is right now, and the fact that the main event continues to be the undisputed
Wagner.
World Championship and the tournament of the year that everybody wants to win. You win the main event, nobody's going to forget who you are. Dan Wyman, he picked up his 12.1 million. I know that's funny to some of you, but it was very historic for us. We've seen the main event be a few hundred players rise to several thousand players, go through a time when the UIGEA came in and online poker was not able to support the live event the way that it should. And then we went through this kind of resurgence where it was more, hey, let's all get together, let's all come out, and let's all figure out a way to build everything back up. And people started playing more live and less online, and then more online started coming about. And then eventually we saw GG Poker, fantastic, unbelievable. They sent players to the main event this year, and they send more players to the main event this year. The main event just continues to be the consummate competition. It's no re-entry. It's one bullet, one chance a year, and either you make it or you don't. And so since 1970, it's the purest competition of the great game that we all love. And I am very honored to be part of World Series of Poker, be part of this community, and for all of you that support not only the main event, but everything World Series of Poker and poker in general. I think poker's in a really great place right now. I think poker has a lot of legs. I think it's going to continue to grow. And I really admire seeing all of you in this room and seeing these awards and everybody being recognized for their contributions to poker. It's really come a long way for us in this industry to recognize us poker people. We used to just be the poker guys, right? That's what we were. We were poker guys. Hey, let's not worry about those poker guys. Now people love poker. They embrace poker. They want more poker. And that's not just here in Las Vegas, but that's all over the world. So let's continue to do great things for poker. Let's continue to support all the players that come to play poker. Let's continue to support all the staff and all of you that are here in poker. And on behalf of the World Series of Poker team, thanks a lot for this great trophy. And we'll see everyone at the main event this year.
Should have said it for 2022.
2023, we had to say goodbye to some vital members of the poker community. Let's take a moment to pay tribute to those who lost.
I know a couple of them. Don't know him.
Never heard of
Don't know him.
him.
He looks pretty young too.
Don't know him.
Was the one person that speech really good? Just
Don't know him. Yeah, I think he was. Don't know
I
him.
kind of know him, but not really.
Don't know him.
Don't know him.
Don't know
I
him.
assume Doyle's last. Don't get so slow.
Don't know him. Don't know him.
Hold on. If his name was Hold On, that would have been pretty funny.
Never heard of any of these people.
Bugsy. I guess it's the signal all the big ones for last, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. We missed him go, buddy. I saw him play once against Jim Woods. Well, it wasn't the same day.
Here to accept the Poker Icon Award on behalf of Doyle Brunson, his dear friend. Let's welcome once again Maurice Kendine.
Todd Brunson, can you be there?
He's got the hat.
What Casper?
This is a gift, maybe. I think it's rightfully read for this. The occasion would have been sweeter if it was here, and could accept it, but such is life. I watched him sweating, rail burning him in my 20s. First time I saw him play in cash game in Lake Tahoe. In 30s, I played the same role he was playing. I would watch him from the distance. That's Doyle and Chip. Their love of game, whatever they played, became the game's deal. They played rads, we started playing rads. They played stuff, we played stuff. And in my 40s, I got to actually play with him once in a while and felt like I was walking into a church, watching him, trying to learn everything he was doing. In my 50s, I worked with him and I got to know him a lot better. His man was bored, never late, full promise, always performed what he said, and always full of advice. This is one icon that is really, really hard to match. Thank you.
Thank you, Maury, for that touching tribute. I love the hat with the signed 10 It's absolutely iconic. Now let's hear from Doyle in his own words.
I've come to realize that life experiences are ours to keep and cherish. Permanent gifts like diamonds that sparkle in your head. When I journey back to my college years of Barton Simmons, it's as if I can remember it all. The games, the glory, the shots I made, the shots I missed. It all plays out again, brand new, on a basketball court in my mind. I feel you own your experiences. They're yours to keep. What you do now will become a permanent part of you. The good things and the bad things. Think about that as you go through life. I can't tell you that the cards you're dealt will be the ones you want, but whatever they turn out to be, play them wisely and honestly, and with passion and pleasure. That's the secret. It's hard to believe it's been a half of a century since Louise and I started our life together in Texas. It seems like yesterday that Todd, Pam, and Cheryl were children. Now they're grown, and I'm blessed that they have turned out so well. It's been a real adventure, and all the experiences, good and bad, lived into incredible remembrances. I think back on buying Brisk Poker in the first place. It was always challenging, exciting, and rewarding. An ongoing education and emotional adventure that continues to this day. And I'm thankful that I chose my own path, or at least followed the path chosen for me and embraced the opportunity that came my way. I still play poker because it energizes me and keeps me thinking young. Sure, the money is part of my motivation to play poker, but there's also the adrenaline rush you get when that last card is turned over. That slight hesitation while your brain takes in all the information, and the thrill of victory if the pot is pushed your way. But I chose the professional poker for another reason. I play poker because of the freedom. I'm my own boss, set my own hours, choose my own friends, and select my own adversaries. I feel as free as a fluffy white cloud floating in a bright blue sky. That's the most beautiful part of being a gambler, the freedom and the memories.
I had the honor of interviewing Doyle a couple times. Truly something I will never forget. What an impact he had on the poker world. Now, if Doyle were here and her best trophy was a category, have some thoughts. I mean, have to have some action on it. You know, say the books have the Asian Poker Tour Type A Lion Trophy is a 3-1 dog, but I saw a lot of value in taking the Poker Dream Malaysia Dragon Trophy plus 950. Here are the nominees for best trophy.
Fans' choice, best trophy. Asian Poker Tour Type A Lion Trophy. Mike Sexton, WPT champion.
That was good. That was good.
Kenny PT, Las Vegas event
No,
trophy.
that's the angle flag.
Reed Malaysia.
That's not bad. That's number two. That's number two.
World Series of Poker main event bracelets.
I'm gonna go. I would pick the Lion.
Winner is
Yeah.
the Asian Poker Tour Type A Lion
Thank
Trophy.
you. Okay.
Yay.
There is a god in this world. They picked the right trophy.
The Asian Poker Tour is going to be here tonight. So Greg will happily accept the award on their behalf. I'm not doing this just for attention. I'm one of the commentators and host for the Asian Poker Tour. I'm Asian. I also play poker, so it seems suitable. I think on behalf of Michael Soiza and the rest of the other co-owners.
That's the one part of it the whole time.
Thank you for this award. It means a lot to us. And thank you for putting us on
Good job.
the whole page. Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you very much. You're such a big part of the tour. Do you want to take the actual trophy?
Okay, that was the first funny moment.
That's the highlight of the whole thing, probably.
And now, to get to the very powerful people I'm afraid to make fun of, so I won't. Here are the nominees for Poker Industry Person of the Year.
Industry person.
That means.
Ryan Beauregard. Maury Eskandani.
Oh, gee.
I know, right?
Adam Plitzka.
Okay.
Francine Watson.
Just accept it.
And winners,
Maury.
Adam Plitzka.
Oh, yeah. This guy again. Our first double award winner. For him.
Only cost $2.4 million. First of all, I want to say, if I'm nominated next year, please just give the award to this man right over here, Ryan Beauregard, who's this guy has worked day and night and has done so much. And I've never seen anybody who cares so much. But you know, I won this award maybe like a decade ago, and it's more special this year. And the reason why I was thinking about this, it was a tough year, a really tough year. I mean, there was a lot of great things happened, and we saw with Prime. But I know you saw if you follow my Instagram pages, the dog, both of my dogs are gone. I had there was some health things. My dear mom, who I took care of, passed away. And why is this meaningful to me? Because all of you, as part of the community, have been great, wonderful to work with. It's probably the toughest year of the 21 years, and it reminded me why it's such a great thing to be a part of this amazing community. I love my team, but I love all of you. And so many people talk about the war, and you know what? Look around in this room. about the extraordinary people, and we frustrate each other when we piss each other off. There we go. But you know what? We have an amazing, amazing careers. We have this amazing opportunity, and I'm just so grateful to all of you and Eric and GPI and all of you. Just keep making the magic and pushing things forward. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
And now to present the Fans' Choice Award for Best Poker Personality, please welcome not Andrew Neamy, the other one, two-time GPA winner, Brad Owen.
Oh, no one finally.
Yay.
Subs.
Thanks, Jeff. Not as many short jokes this year, huh? All right. These individuals have done a tremendous job keeping us entertained while growing the game of poker and racking up millions of views throughout all social media platforms.
Tons of
Here are the nominees for Fans' Choice Poker Personality.
Oh, it's us.
Fans' Choice Poker Personality. Gregory Liao. Greg goes all in. Seth Mona. Stephen
Oh,
Haley.
that's what behind it.
Jonathan Rand. Poker. Alexander Zant. Wolfgang Poker.
We were the 5th nominee again. I know. It's so.
And the winner is Greg Goes All In.
I mean, some of the categories are 5 nominees. What kind of the ones that we would have been in at 5? It's not fair. Greg won.
I won something! Today's been a great day. I also hit 100K subs on YouTube today. This has been like absolutely good too. Thank you.
214.
This means
Horizon.
much to me because it means that I, Greg Goes All In, out of everyone in this room, nay, the entire poker industry, had the best personality. It was a fan's choice. I spammed the voting link a lot more. Like if Wolfgang had just like put a community post about it, we would have gone destroyed. So I just like to take a moment to really just congratulate my fellow nominees. Seppi Poker makes fantastic content, so original, so refreshing. Subscribe to Seppi Poker. Slow Poker, honestly, I love you, Brad, but like he's my favorite poker blogger. It's just so witty. He also has a clear background too. So please subscribe to Slow Poker. Oh, and who can forget Wolfgang, who's amassed hundreds of millions of views from his YouTube shorts. Wolfgang has a great editor. Shout out to Wolfgang. Subscribe to Wolfgang. We'll try to keep this short, but the bartender formula quadruple, so bear with me. I'd like to thank GK Awards. It's so beautiful that we get to come here together every year and just celebrate one another's accomplishments. So thank you, GK Awards and PokerGo. I'd like to thank GG Poker, my sponsor. They reached out to me and invested in me back when I only had 1K subscribers. So thank you to GG Poker, the #1 poker site in the world with the most forward. They're fantastic. Thank you for nothing me. I'd like to thank all my fellow content creators. For just growing the game, inspiring me daily. So particularly I'd like to thank Brad Owen and Rampage Poker. 3 years ago, I started watching their content, and that's when I got me into poker and started my channel. So if it wasn't for them, I don't have you here today. So thank you. We're all, and it's just a testament really to how much content creators are growing the game in poker. I'd like to thank everyone who's worked on my channel before or is currently working on my channel. Special shout out to Simon Steedman, to sorry guys, I'm so nervous. I'm more like it's better for me when I like conceitedly scripting content out of apartment than speaking live. I'd like to thank Simon Steedman. I'd like to thank Jamie Bosky and Ivan, my merch guys. I'd like to thank GG Poker and the entire GG team. I'd like to thank Matt Vaughn and Julian Samia, my editor. I'd like to thank my friends out in Toronto who were supporting me when I first started the channel. I'd like to thank my friends out west who, despite everything I've been doing the past few years, have kept me grounded by verbally abusing me every day. I'd like to thank, that's a joke, you can laugh. I'd like to thank my cat Felton for reminding me what the most important things in life are. And outside, I'd thank my subscribers and my viewers. The mission statement of Greg Goes All In is to make poker fun for everyone. So thank you for giving me the voice and the platform to do that. I will use this as a card protector forever. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
That's the personality. Need more of that in poker. And for the final award of the night, please welcome to the stage my favorite poker personality, Global Poker Award winner, Sarah Herring.
That's we're gonna get nominated here, right? Yeah.
So my husband has presented several awards, and I thought, ooh, like, I will really have made it when I
I'll
present an
follow
award.
the
And I was really
hair,
excited to find out I was
sorry.
presenting
I'll
but I also think they saved my award for last so that they could save on the bar tab because I did not drink very much for this. But in all seriousness, this is a really, really difficult job, and my friend Lingo Martin does it in heels, so shout out to her. Just kidding, guys, but also she is watching. But this is a really hard job. I think people don't give enough credit to how really difficult this is, and these guys are all amazing. The nominees are
Best Broadcaster. Henry Kilbane.
Technically, it's Lon and Norm.
Ali Nadar.
Lon and Norm, right? Lon and Norm.
Jeffrey Platt.
Lon and Norm.
Nick Schulman.
Lon and Norm. Are they gonna be this like one combined? Oh, Nick. I want to go robbed.
okay. It's Ali Najad.
We're doing gold, I guess. Yeah.
All right. So this is what it feels like to be up here. I know something about this. I do first want to begin by saying this is like my 1.5th award of the evening because I know that Rachel came up here and accepted an award for best photograph. I don't know that that was the one that they meant to go with because there was another iteration of that photo that I felt like maybe played a role in that with my guy Nick, which I really enjoyed. By the way, that was a fantastic photograph. Over 2 decades in poker broadcasting, alongside some of the very people in this room who I'm fortunate enough to call friends. Many of you, first and foremost, thanks to GPI, the Hennemob, and Eric Denny for working year-round tirelessly to give us an excuse to come together once a year. You certainly are a safer source of validation than the reply tabs on Twitter for people who do what I do. That's for sure. Certainly acknowledgement and props go to each and every one of the other nominees, all of whom, as I mentioned earlier with Drea, I've had the good fortune to work with. Nick and the Night Shift, obviously Jeff here, PokerGo, Henry over on the Triton Super High Roller Series. Each and every one of you make me better. That's for sure. Thanks to the players for continuing to get up and go to work and give us a job and something to do in an ever increasingly difficult landscape in terms of the game. It was a lot easier 2 decades ago when I first started talking about it, and I continue to marvel and be fascinated by just how amazing you guys are. So thanks for that opportunity. To the 4 different guys who I'm working for right now, I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge each and every one of them. The Triton Super High Roller Series, thank you for keeping my frequent flyer accounts padded 4 times a year. Paul Pula, Richard Young, Andy Wong, to GG Poker, Michael Kim, and Spunky Wong, who Greg knows something about, for tapping me to be among the ambassadors. For them to PokerGo in the studio, and 7 or 8 years ago, Kerry Katz, having this little dream, Dan Gotti, and of course Maury Eskandani, who is without running into him on a cruise ship in 2003, I think it was, playing 75 150 limit hold'em and having him randomly bring up that he was going to be doing poker related content, and then going,
I may be your guy, and walking up to his suite and showing him my demo reel from work I'd done outside of poker as a young man and my resume, and him going, come with me, and basically grabbing me by the hand, and 20 years on, kind of being the genesis of this moment, I wouldn't be here. So thank you to Maury. Also a little bit of an unsung kind of recent outfit that I want to give a shout out to, because it's really a great little place if you ever managed to go there. Ashkan Bade and Songul Becken over at Merit Poker in Cyprus, Northern Cyprus to be specific. I actually get on a plane and go out there multiple times a year to do a stream that they're building, and it's great fun. And I promise you that the game is alive and well with good opportunity for those who are willing to fly 20 hours and get involved in some of those games. Talon McCarran and Norman Chad, in particular, pioneers of this industry, I think absolutely acknowledged, recognized, and deserving of their throne, and absolutely stalwarts of our industry who I'm happy to have been able to watch and kind of work alongside each and every year, because truth be told, I don't know that the night shift is prime time ready at any point. They're a little bit more buttoned up. And last but by no means least, to the poker fans out there whose at times reluctant appetite for my occasionally irreverent brand of poker commentary continues to mean that I get to do what I do. And of course, each and every one of you in this room who work in various capacities to support, at times in a very unsung manner, this little thing that we have that continues to persevere year in and year out in the face of tremendous amounts of adversity and challenges. My deepest and personal thank you to each and every one of you as well. And thank you so much for this award. Thanks, guys.
He's out of there, Ben.
I think probably one of the best broadcasters in the world. I don't have to qualify that with anything poker related. Somebody I've looked up to for a long time. 4 employers must be nice. Unbelievable. That will do it for our show this evening. Thanks to you all for being here. Thanks to everybody for watching at home. For our entire crew, for Dre, Renee, I'm Jeff Platt. We'll see you next time at the Global Poker Awards.
Yay. So montage of them walking in and photo shoots.
Yay. Congratulations to everyone who won. Congratulations to all the nominees. I hope the food was good.
All the snubs. Watch all the snubs and nominees.
Yep. Everybody who didn't show up. Just more than half of the winners.
All right.
Okay.
Stand that. Oopsies.
Yeah, we're gonna watch it again right now.
All right. So Sam, thoughts on the award ceremony as a whole? What did you think?
I didn't like it. I don't like awards. As I mentioned, I don't like award ceremonies, generally speaking.
They put it pretty straight, like a traditional ceremony. They didn't really do anything unique or something that just, I don't know. And it was well constructed, I suppose, as far as its production and stuff. But I feel like we were really missing some clips of some of those players in action, or a bit more of seeing the nominees before they do the awards, and the gap between the skipped over speeches of the non-attending and then the pretty lengthy speeches. It made for this odd sort of yin yang of pacing.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, I generally like award ceremonies just because they just go on for way too long and they're just very tedious. And yeah, it was very tedious to just have half the people not be there. No real huge names were there, even really nominated in a lot of. I mean, Daniel Negreanu got nominated once. That was about it.
No Helmuth, no Ivy.
Yeah.
No, only the main event was only really represented in 2 awards: Daniel Weinman and the event of the year, and that was a bit of a letdown too.
Yeah.
Besides that, obviously the comedy. I mean, I'm a pretty harsh critic of comedy, but it just kind of felt like that sort of generic recycled formula sort of jokes. It's again like you would at any awards show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Obviously, if we had someone made the nominees, it would have made the show 10 out of 10 amazing.
Yep.
But obviously give it time. It's an hour 40, and imagine if this had been on a broadcast network with commercial breaks, it would have been probably 3 hours long. Yeah, which is pretty crazy.
They would have probably added some more bits and things into it too, but
yeah, because really there was the Jeff Platt curse, and then just the sort of like, let's pan to the tables.
The interviews were just very strange to just have those be in them.
Yeah,
there needed to be either more of them or none of them, I feel. And they weren't really any substantial. You didn't really learn anything about them. I understand that like the Academy Awards has, when the celebrities come on the red carpet for the first time, there's somebody like, who are you wearing? And, what was your experience like, on the set and whatever. But again, that's like the Academy Awards where you have all these A-list actors and B-list actors versus these people who are, not big celebrities and don't have a lot to say. So,
yeah. And, as far as, I was not too surprised that I wasn't familiar with the majority of the nominees, either the players or the organizations or whatnot. Because again, I grew up just as a main event focused poker fan, and obviously I've gradually expanded over the years to include stuff that we've covered on the podcast and a few other things here and there. But really, again, it just goes to show you that it's a big poker world out there, and we really only know maybe a small fraction of the overall community.
Yeah, I mean, I like poker. I don't love it. I don't feel a need to have to follow all these content creators and watch all these events. I just sort of watch whenever I'm interested in doing it. So I don't know. I mean, I might be tempted to watch a couple of these people just to sort of know who they are. Maybe we can review them on the podcast or not. But just so many people I just don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't, don't really feel the need to look into any of those other nominees I never heard of. I don't feel the need to watch another iteration of this award ceremony unless someone we personally knew was involved, which really, to the none.
Right. Yeah.
I can't recommend it to anybody else really because it just feels like you could just go to a website and find just go check the nominees and the winners and just read it up that way and save yourself a lot of time instead of watching it.
Yeah, watch a speech. If you want to watch a speech from somebody, you can just, timestamp it. Just go to the timestamp.
Yeah, and again, hopefully we didn't ruin the experience watching for anyone who was watching us watch it. But again, I'm very sort of not skeptical, but kind of a harsh critic of TV, and this again just was not all that fun to watch really.
Yeah, I mean, again,
there was like from the Doyle Brunson tribute to the first few minutes after, that was probably the highlight of the whole thing.
Yep, same here. Yep.
Yeah. But that covers our talk about the poker awards. I guess now we got to discuss we haven't talked about the Mind Sport Olympiad for a while, and we discussed the first 4 events. Now I got very, very close to my first medal. There's been a wide variety of events that have happened since 2 episodes ago for us. First one being the Badoogie event.
Yep.
And again, Badoogie, in a game I've really never played ever. I know how to pronounce it at least. And this was an event that took place while I had work, so I literally just set out the whole thing, blinded out. Sam actually played the whole thing. They had 32 players. I just folded my way to 17th, which again, really not that bad halfway into the tournament. And again, I probably wouldn't have done much better had I actually played it anyway. So I don't feel too bad about that finish, which at the time was still better than a few of my really bad finishes up to that point, being this was the 5th event, and you are playing your top 5 best scores. Sam, you had a little bit more success than me.
I got 14th. Yeah, I really don't remember it very well. But Doogie's not a game it's a game I find kind of interesting, but it's not a game I'm especially good at. So yeah, really nothing to write home about. I didn't get any knockouts. It was just a very, just nothing really happened. Nothing really got going.
The next event after that was the PLO event, and so this one a bit better. 35 players in this one. PLO is not my, upper tier game, but it's definitely one I've played a fair amount, especially on Poker Stars. And so I had, better expectations than the majority of those early events. But I was just kind of hovering around sort of starting stack, kind of like in that 8 to 13K mark for a lot of it. Just really kind of grinding my way. Never made the nuts really, just kind of had to kind of hang in there here and there.
Yeah, same here. I was just sort of floating around, maybe winning half a pot here, half a pot there, this being Omaha high-low.
I was Omaha.
Sorry, excuse me. Never mind. Sorry, I'm confusing them.
Yes.
Yeah, just sort of hanging around. I got 1 knockout at one point. I can't really remember what the circumstances were. Not really a super memorable thing. I was just mainly carded for the most part.
I managed to squeeze into the final table as a short stack. Again, with when the action's done on the final 2 tables, I'm watching both tables, and I wasn't trying just to ladder. I'm trying to win a medal, but I was really never in contention to kind of make it too deep. As the short stack of the final table, I squeezed in a early triple up to kind of stay a little bit more in the mix, and then I went all in as a small favorite as a short stack still, and ended up losing. When I had a pretty close to card locked pre-flop, and unfortunately I busted in 9th place. Still, it was my second final table of the MSO, which was still pretty good. And also the problem was really that there were so many players that just kind of just blast off and just throw a whole stack in all in, and they always managed to do that to other players when there's really no rhyme or reason why they wouldn't sometimes fall onto me. And so it was unfortunate, but a 9th place still, a 9th place was one of my top 5 finishes last year, or pretty close to it. So it's again in line with how I would have liked to have kept things going for the MSO. And I was hoping there'd be some momentum as we ran into the 7th event, Showtime Hold'em.
Yep, Showtime Hold'em, which I find very interesting. I mean, the fact that players fold and they reveal their cards, except when it's after the river, which I find very interesting, and the winning player doesn't get to show their cards. So yeah, I mean, I have, for somebody who's a tight player like myself, I mean, it's advantageous to a certain extent, but you also, don't want to over calibrate when you have, ace king and there's an ace folded, something like that just hypothetically. And then again, it's just Hold'em at the end of the day, which obviously we're both experienced in.
Yeah, no, but really, I really enjoy this event. It's probably,
Mhm.
as far as the fun factor, are probably top 2, top 3 for me as far as the roster of the MSO. And
Yeah,
unfortunately, I could only play for the first part of the event before I had to just kind of fold my way blind out
Yep.
because of work,
Mhm.
which is a shame because I was really digging the event prior to me having to leave for work. And again, it just I do feel like the math of the game really favors into my skill set because you have when especially position's a big deal because you're seeing
Mhm.
everyone pre-flop fold, and again it's just a fun game. I wish that PokerStars would offer more frequently as far as sort of their play money game offerings, but unfortunately that's not the case. This event only got 28 players, and it did show me a little bit of a trend here where it does seem like the more obscure games on the
Mhm.
roster get fewer players, if only by a
Only by a
handful of
couple,
players.
yeah.
So it's interesting. And again, it is Hold'em. It's again one of your bread and butter, and so we both. I've managed to make it to the final table just by surviving because of with all if no limit Hold'em, the bus ups can come a little bit faster, and so
Yep.
that's the case. I know that with you managed to make the final table as well.
Yep, as a short stack, as the short stack in 9th place. Yeah, I think I maybe doubled up once at the final table, but again, I had like 4 big blinds, so I got to 8. And then I busted pretty shortly after that. So yeah, I mean, I made another final table, which is always nice. And
Your
I think it was my second, my second of the MSO.
And because you were so short stacked, you didn't mind busting before I would have, having been sitting out.
Yeah,
So
no problem.
I got 8th place, which again is again another final table, which is good, but again, having not really played it, it doesn't feel as real, but still it's nice to get another solid finish of 28 players. It's still if I can't win a medal, okay, my final table is not a bad consolation when I couldn't really play the event.
Absolutely, yeah.
That gets us to a bit more of a interesting contrast in performance here. The Heads Up Hold'em event. Again, I got 5th place in this event last year. This was the tournament that was concurrently running during our day of our Rainbow interview that I sort of fought my way to get to the final 8, and Sam got to the final 8 as well, but decided not to.
I wanted to focus on Greg Raymer because that's what polite people do. Is you
call me rude? Hey, come on, man! I didn't make it apparent. In any case, so with round 1, we'll go over my first. Unfortunately, an early round 1 loss in 25th place. I think I played against one of the higher point scoring players, and I had the lead early. Fell down a bit, doubled up in a like a 55-45 all in pre-flop to take the small lead. And then with the blinds kind of getting up there, because it's only like 3,000 chips to start with. I think the blinds were either like 75 150, and he just open shoves, and I have ace jack, and my read was it was some sort of low pocket pair, or at least below the jack, so it's a flip if I call. And I obviously I don't have to play a flip if I don't want to, but I do have him covered by a couple hundred, and I know that with the money already in the pot, even though it's a flip, the pot odds are pretty much 50-50. It makes sense to call. So I call, it was the flip. I double up once as a short stack on the next hand, and then I bust, unfortunately, right after that, where I had, I think I had like ace 5 in the big blind. He limped queen 9. The flop was 9-9-6, and he checks. So I just figure ace high is probably good. He has a 9, of course. So I bust in that. I was really annoyed because I didn't think I was outplayed, and when you're not outplayed, you don't want to take a loss when it's come down to one flip. And if I win the flip, then I'm moving on to the next round. I got momentum, so I'm really annoyed. But at least while my match is happening, Sam's giving me some positive updates for his tournament
because my player was sitting out. The other guy was sitting out. So yeah, I knocked him out. I didn't play a single hand. He was sitting out the whole time, so he was out. I think the second player out of the entire tournament. Very, very fast. And then, I watched a little bit of Ben's action, and I sort of watched everybody else's, and then kind of just took a break. I'm a freelance writer, so I can kind of take some time off from work, but I just want to check work emails and other things just to be sure I'm okay. So after that was done, I was on to round 2. Ben had obviously lost, which is disappointing, but I wanted to just try to stay focused. And then I went up against an opponent, and I think I won like the first 10 hands, I won like 9 of them or something. He kept folding the button, which is very weird when you're playing heads up against somebody. I mean, if you have like 8 deuce offsuit, you can fold that. But I mean, like, 9-5, you should be playing that. Queen 6, you should be playing that. At least just limping in just to see.
Especially
Yeah.
especially those like those first 2 levels, you have so many big blinds that you can even afford to limp fold a few times and not really lose much too.
Yeah, I mean, he was folding 80% of his buttons, something like that. So I was just picking up a lot of these small pots. Nothing super big at first, but I won, I think, all but like 5 of our hands or something.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really even do much. I mean, if I just, if he checked to me on the flop and it was a paired board, I would bet. If I had bottom pair, I would bet and he would just fold. So, I mean, I think he raised a couple times pre-flop, like 2 or 3 times, and I would just fold each time.
Yeah.
So then it got down to where I think I had like maybe like a 2-1 lead or so, something like that. And I had king deuce of diamonds. So he raised. I thought about folding, then I figured, all right, king deuce of diamonds, if I have a flush or if I hit top pair or trips or whatever, then, I'll be good. And then I can just get away from it if he bets big on the flop. So I called his raise. It was just a min raise, by the way. That's all he was doing was min raising. The flop came 3 diamonds. So I have the second nuts. He checked, or no, I checked and then he checked. And then the turn came an ace. So I'm thinking, okay, I think he's got a pair of aces, maybe ace king, ace queen. I don't know. Probably not ace king because I have a king, but something. He has an ace. That's why he would raise.
Yes.
So he bet, I think I min bet. Then he raised me. Then I 3-bet him. Then he 4-bet. Again, all min raises the whole way through. So I'm thinking, okay, I think I should just shove here. I mean, even though we're both big stacks, I think he's going to call. He snap called me with ace jack. So I had the king high flush. He had just aces. So he's drawing down on the turn, river bricks, of course. And then I won. And then again, that was like the second person knocked out of that level.
Right.
So I was done again very early. And again, I just sort of checked work emails again and then watched the other action. And then it was on to the third round where it was a little bit back and forth at first. I think I won more hands than him for the first couple levels, but it wasn't like I pulled away at any point. He was, I would say a good opponent, like decent opponent. And then I eventually had enough of a lead. I think I had maybe like a 5-3 lead, something like that, not quite 2-1. And he went all in and I had, I think, ace 9 suited, like ace 9 of spades or something. So I called. He had ace 7. It was 3 bricks on the flop. The turn was a 7 river bricks. So he won the pot, but again, it was like a 5-3 lead for me. So it wasn't like I still had a decent stack. I could still maneuver. But he won the next few hands. So my stack dropped a little bit. And then I went all in with pocket jacks and he called with jack 10 suited. I think he flopped a 10 and then it was brick.
Yes.
So
this is on the medal round bubble.
Right.
The final 8. So top 4 make a medal. So this is where, this is where it gets real.
Yeah. So I mean, when that happened, it's like, wow, I mean, I'm surprised he put me on with jack 10 suited, which again is a good hand, but I mean, I'd been playing fairly tight.
I mean, this is probably the most aggressive I've seen you play in any event really ever. Because
yeah.
I'm just saying
Yeah.
it's like Sam would always flop bet when he's checked to with position, and that's something that I didn't expect from you really. I was really impressed.
Yeah, I mean, I just think with heads up, you just got to ramp up the aggression a little bit more than maybe you're accustomed to. That's at least how I play.
Yeah.
So yeah, jacks versus jack 10, I double up. So now it's again, I have a good lead, but it's not lights out yet. And then eventually we kept playing. I kept winning pots. I think I got him down below 10 big blinds a couple times, actually. Just couldn't quite get the knockout punch until eventually he went all in with, I had, I think, was it ace 7? Was it exactly? I can't remember.
Something like
ace
that.
Queen.
Ace queen.
Or no, I had ace queen. He had ace 7. Okay, well, anyway, I had like an ace. I had like a mid range ace. I called. He had a worse ace than I did. 5 bricks, so I knocked him out. So I made the medal round because they're not doing a bronze medal playoff. It's just 3rd and 4th place get a bronze medal because you can't really do that in Poker Stars.
Yeah.
You could like set up heads up match or whatever.
Complain about it.
Anyway, so round 4, I go up against BC 2017, who's won the poker meta event when I got 3rd, and is like a very solid player. He's commented on our videos a couple times too. So if you're watching, shout out, you're an awesome player. Really like you a lot. Yeah, it was back and forth quite a bit. I mean, I would have the lead at some points and he would have the lead at some points. A lot of my sort of min bets weren't really working. I noticed, I would bet min bet bottom pair or min bet mid pair, and he would call with, a better hand or a draw or whatever. And then, yeah, I had tens at one point, and I go all in when I had about 1,700 chips, and he called with 7. So I doubled up, so I've got the lead again, but then I slid back down after a few pots. Again, it was back and forth the whole way through. Like I think this was a good match. And then I shoved with yeah.
He shoved an ace queen and he had
Ace
king 8, and even though you flop an ace, it didn't hold,
Yeah.
and you lost. So unfortunately, a third place finish, still really solid. I'm really happy for you to get another medal. I do want one, but I'm happy you got one. We're not, going to get shut out this whole MSO. And again, you got one medal last year, one medal this year, so you keep this consistency right there.
Both in Hold'em.
Both in Hold'em, yeah.
Yeah.
And then a couple days later was the 7-card stud high-low event, which again, stud is again among my weakest games among the horse or 8-game mixed rotation. I feel like playing it, but it's definitely not a game that I feel I have any particular skill at over anybody else.
Neither do I. I like it in mixed games. I like just playing it for 5 minutes at a time, something like that. It's not a game I hate. It's just tricky. And yeah, this time around, kind of the story of the MSO beside the 2 heads-up events, I lost in the first round in Omaha heads-up, and then obviously we just told the Hold'em heads-up. I was just like, just sort of, I'd pick up some pots here and there, but I mostly just stayed very level, sort of going, just hanging around sort of 9, 10K for a long time, and then eventually just not getting anything going. And once the blinds get too big in a game like that, you just, you go out. So that's what happened to me. I got out in 15th.
Yeah, I mean, I had a pretty awful start. I was at one point the short stack of all 29 players still alive, and I managed to kind of rebound the first 3 hands after the first break, the first hour break. I was all in all 3 of those hands. I chopped 2 of them. Both times I was kind of unhappy to chop in that sort of spots, and then I actually scooped the 3rd hand, which got me back up to about 12K. So again, above starting stack, and this is just above the chip average because I wouldn't really any busts at that point.
Yeah.
And then the peak I really ever got was 13,000 until there was one hand where a disastrous 7-3 cost me both the high and the low at the same time, and so that killed me. And then at that point, I just kind of blinded, anteed down a little bit. I finished in 16th, so just 1 spot below you. Again, 16th out of 29 is not great. It's the bottom half of the field, but it's also, considering I was the short stack at one point, not a bad sort of rebound of sorts. And again, it's one of my weaker games, so it's not like I had the highest hopes. But I still, it wasn't all miserable at the very start. At least I managed to have some fun with it by the end. Which then gets us to 8-game mix. Again, one of my favorites. I know it's one of your favorites too.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
And again, unfortunately, this is another event where I had work, so I couldn't really play the whole event. I had to sit out towards the end there. So but the first like 30 minutes though was just really like lightning. I was 100% focused on the game, not about work at all. I was chip leader or second in chips. I was just that first sort of orbit of games. Each level was only 5 minutes long, so you get just maybe a handful of hands per game, and it was a lot of fun. I was a couple of players I definitely felt I had a bit of a skill edge over, and it was really a lot of fun.
Yeah, for me, I won a couple hands early on, and so I was, up to like 11K. And then mostly it was just sort of smooth sailing, like winning small pots, but mostly just kind of blinding down through maybe the first hour and a half, sort of. And then I won a big hand in stud. I had 4s full of queens. I knocked a player out, and I basically doubled up. So I was up to like 16K with like 20 players left. I'm in like the top 6 players. So I'm thinking, okay, I can work with this. I can make this work. Then I won I lost a big pot after that, and then I won a big pot after that to kind of get back up to where I was before. And then no limit hold'em, I had pocket queens. I made a 3x raise pre. I got called by one player, king high flop. I c-bet about like half pot. The guy called me. Turn was a brick. I checked, he checked. River was a king, and then he bet half pot. So I'm thinking, like, does he have a king or not? Like, I guess he could have a king here. I've still got a good amount of chips, so I folded. So I lost a lot of chips there, and then I just sort of blinded down after that. And then there was another hand. I survived for, until we got back to no limit, where I had, I think, ace 5, raise pre, guy calls me. He has fewer chips than I do. The flop was 7-5 brick. He goes all in. I called. He had a 7, so I had a 5. Turn gave me a 5. The river gave him a flush. So if I'd won that pot, I would have knocked another player out, and then I would have had like still just like 10 big blinds, but still like a manageable stack I could still work with.
You mean big bets or big blinds?
Big blinds and no limit hold'em.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Still something to work with, still something in the right direction. I was a short stack for sure, but yeah, I lose that hand. I lose like half my chips, and then I was out shortly after that in 16th. Which I had fun. I mean, it was enjoyable. I always loved playing 8-game. I really didn't have high expectations of myself despite 8-game, because historically in sit and goes, I've done better at 8-game than I have in big tournaments. I don't know why, but in big tournaments, I've only done a handful of deep runs out of all the ones that I've played. I love 8-game. I'll keep playing it, but I just historically haven't done that well. And so I had my low expectations for this. So I got 1 knockout, so that's kind of nice.
Well, it's funny you say big, because this event actually was the smallest of all the MSO events thus far. Only 25 players joined. So I thought, okay, that's a 12% chance we win a medal, right?
Yeah.
And by virtue of my strong start, I got up to about 13,000 in that first half hour. So that was really effective. I ended up finishing in 10th, kind of folding my way down and out. And again, for an event that I didn't even play the whole thing for, it's not the worst finish in the world. I wish I could have stayed and played the whole thing.
Yeah.
I think I would have been fairly happy with how I would have ended up finishing if I could have done that, because there were just a few people at my opening table that I really felt like just did not know the specifics of some of those 8-game mixed games. So that's unfortunate, but again, a 10th place finish still good enough to get me a higher score in my top 5 finishes in the MSL for this point structure. So again, definitely trending a bit better in this last batch of games compared to the first batch.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, sometimes it just takes time to pick up momentum and get a sense of how the other players are doing. I mean, it's a lot of the same players I played with before. I played with BC before. I played with a lot of these people before. So yeah, I mean, 2 more events to go. So we got Fusion, which no idea how that's going to go. I mean, I've never played it before. It's this, how do you even describe it? It's a hybrid between Hold'em and PLO.
Yeah, and spot limit.
Yeah, so you get 2 cards before the flop. If you stick around, you get a 3rd card after the flop, right?
And then I think a 4th on the turn.
And then a 4th on the turn.
And then it's just Omaha by that point.
Yeah.
2 cards in your hand. And so I guess what that means is, as far as you have to assume more draws will call you.
Yep.
Top like aces and kings is like the only 2 pair has to kind of be the upper amounts, because again, they're getting cards and there's more cards on the community cards. So you need to have sort of protection in your mind. And I guess, blockers are more important too. If you have, a set and then you have, blockers to the flush, then you're okay with flush draw calling you, because just little things like that are more important to consider, I think.
Yep. Yeah.
And with pot limit, I do feel like it's important to have sort of the your stack size. You want to have enough chips to play sort of a pot size bet pre-flop, on the flop, and then on the turn. So that'd be sort of 3x, and then you can make that makes 6, that makes 9 big blinds, and then 9, 18 to 20. So 27 big blinds is kind of like you can play 3 hands and not have to fold and be like, like that. Something like that.
Yeah, something.
So again, it'll be exciting. There's only 9 people currently registering for it. And again, it's because it's one of those sort of like fringe games. It'll probably be a smaller field. So this again could be one of our best shots at winning another medal here.
Perhaps.
It's pot limit. So again, the problem is you gotta make some hands no matter what. And I feel like bluffing is less effective, because if you don't have anything, then you're sort of again, they're looking to have something or have a draw or something. So I think your bluff spots have to be a bit more careful pre-river, of course.
Yeah, I mean, we'll try it out. We'll just see how it works, and hopefully I just want to have fun. So hopefully I had fun during the 8-game. I had fun during a lot of these games. So hopefully the Fusion will be fun, and then after that is Standard, No Limit Hold'em, the Cadillac of poker. And we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, and again, I will hopefully maybe be able to play that event again. Work might get in the way. We'll see how that week pans out. I don't want to assume anything, but I would love to play. It's a good structure, I think, for me. Again, I didn't. It's my work. I finished poorly last year, but I didn't make a mistake on the way to finishing that poorly. So we'll see.
Yeah.
As far as the overall standings, you're currently, as of pre the 8-game mix event, you were in 8th place, which again is not bad. I'm in 13th. even with my, pretty poor performances factored in. So again, I don't feel like I've really played bad, besides maybe the five card draw event where I, don't really know what I'm doing as much as the other games. I don't think I've played poorly. I just feel like it's been a combination of run poorly, and also just certain players accumulating chips on other tables so that I can't outlast them because other players are feeding those chips, not for me.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just it's a combination of factors. I feel like the field is pretty good. Like at BC and a lot of the others are very, very solid players. We're seeing a lot of people they've won like 3 or 4 medals already. I mean, they just keep winning over and over again. So they clearly know what they're doing. And then obviously it's whatever happens in tournament poker. One hand determines the whole fate of your performance. If you win one hand early on, you have such a better shot of winning the whole thing versus, if that hand never happens. So we'll just see what happens.
Absolutely. And again, with 2 events left, if I can at least, maybe get a final table and have another run at it, that'd be pretty nice. I really think that we have, a chance to at least, finish on a strong note.
Yeah, I mean, I got second in the No Limit Hold'em event last year. That was the penultimate event of the whole MSO. So, we'll see what happens.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But that'll have to come for next time, guys. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next time on our podcast. And until then, enjoy your poker, enjoy your TV, enjoy your poker on TV.
Take care, everyone.